So let's say I have a dozen projects and they're completely different. I write them down, okay? And then for each one of them, I go to the end and I ask myself, what is the success criteria for each one of these? Okay, what is the definition of done? And I make sure, and sometimes it's 3 things, sometimes it's 4 things, sometimes it's 6 things, right? A success criteria. This is there. So like a new website. Well, the website's launched, it gets the same traffic or more, because trust me, the amount of people that change their website to find out they fucked up their website happens all the time. So like I've gotten good at knowing what is the success criteria for different things. And then I work backwards for each one, and I try to break them down into the 5 to 7 meaningful sub-projects for each one of those projects. And then what I do is I chunk the things that are similar, okay? So let's say out of the 12 projects, 5 of them have writing copy. I put all those copywriting projects into a list. And then I look at my calendar and I go, when do I write the best copy? Well, I write the best copy first thing in the morning. Perfect. I got 7 to 9 every day. That's copywriting time. I look at my projects, I sequence them based on who's gonna need the thing sooner than later, and I front load the projects that other people need, where they're blocked, first in my week. And then I also do a thing where I look at some of the stuff, it's phone calls or meetings. I try to get all the meetings scheduled as soon as possible, right? I try to pull forward anything that I can get from somebody else as soon as possible. If I look at and I go, oh, I'm gonna need this material, this material, this material, and there's totally different projects, but they're ordering type tasks, list them. And then I sit down and I put in my calendar 60 minutes, it's called order shit. And in that calendar entry, it's literally the list of things I gotta order. Some of it's a phone call order, some of it's a website order, but I'm in the ordering mentality. That's the game of Tetris. Right? So that's literally what I do is I try to break things down into their individual components, ideally 30 minutes or less in a project time, and then batch things together and do 90 to 120 hours worth of stuff. And then if that overfills a calendar, and sometimes it does in my life, it does every time, then I always go back, I use a RICE score for priorities, reach, impact, confidence, ease. Right? So I evaluate, if I'm trying to sequence, I don't do sequencing. Usually by the time I'm committing to something, it is the thing we got to do. But some stuff, I don't have enough time in a week. And that's where I renegotiate. I either defer, I delete it and just say I'm not doing it and take it off my to-do list, because it turns out that sometimes just not doing something is actually the most productive. Like, not as in like saying we're not doing this anymore. Todd's been on the receiving end. I just come in and be like, no, fuck it. If we can't do this right, it's actually better for everything else to just take it away, right? Refund the money, give it back. Look, learn the lesson. Team's bandwidth capacity is not there. Cancel, refocus, okay? And that is a hard one for sometimes first-time entrepreneurs, because they look at sunk cost fallacy. I have no problem with sunk cost fallacy. I've literally shut down things that cost me millions of dollars because I understood the value of focus in the team's execution on the other things that were multi-million-dollar outcomes. Real quick, you've made it to the end. Let me tell you what I know about you. You're not somebody that's looking to do shelf help. You're not somebody that's just doom scrolling on social media. You're here because you want to build a real business, and you're sick and tired of not getting the real insights to grow inside your business. So I want to help you avoid all the pain trying to figure this out the hard way like I did it. That's why I put together everything I've ever learned into the Scale Workbook. It's the internal document that I use with every founder I work with that turns a chaotic business into a money-making machine. And teaching you all of this without burning more hours. It's totally free. The link is in the description, or you can just scan the QR code on the screen, because I'm here to help you build your empire.